What's up, fam? It's RJ Young, and today I'm going to tell you about number 5 OU versus number 6 TCU in a big game, in a colossal game this Saturday at 7 o'clock in Norman. We're going to preview the game. We're going to talk about the college football rankings and how the college football playoff committee seems to hate OU. We're going to talk about how they could conceivably rank Clemson, of all people, who's got a loss to Syracuse. Ahead of an OU team that only got beat by an Iowa State team that also beat the TCU team that we gotta beat. We're also gonna talk about how the data wonks at 538, that's Nate Silver's website. We're also gonna talk about how the data wonks at 538 think 42% of a chance to get into the college football playoff is a good thing. We're gonna talk about Marquise Brown, Hollywood, who's extremely fast but can't possibly be 5'11". Also, we're going to have a cameo by Pierre Jackson. We're going to talk about this day in Sooner history where an OU football team beat an SEC team 14 years ago. Shout out to Red Dirt Sport who found that note, and I got it on Twitter. We're going to talk about what TCU coach Gary Patterson and defensive back Niko Small had to say about what it's like to try to guard Big 12 offenses. We're also going to talk about what Gary Patterson learned from a 3-3-5 that West Virginia runs. We're also going to get into what Baker Mayfield and Jim Ross have in common. If you're new to my channel or this is your first time here, consider hitting the like button and subscribe button because I upload a video every day. Even on days where I have live streams fails like I did today, but them's the breaks. I'm going to keep trying to live stream because I like live streaming. I just got to get a better internet connection. Aight, bumper.
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
So somehow the college football playoff committee thinks that Georgia should be the number 1 team, which I don't really have that big a problem with. Alabama's the number 2 team. The only problem I have with that is that I gotta hear Bama fans talk, even though we waxed that booty in 2014. Notre Dame is the number 3 team, which, you know, a lot of people have a problem with, but I don't, because they gotta play Miami this weekend. And Miami's been begging for somebody, anybody, to take them seriously. They're like, we're undefeated. Why are we ranked so low? Because we don't think you're that good. But we are that good. Nah, you're like Wisconsin good. No, but really, we're that good. Holy crap. Byron Bergeron just pledged 20 bucks to me on Patreon. Guys, I swear to you, I'm going to work on this live stream thing with money like that coming in. Where was I? Miami is all like, we're good. No, you're not. We're going to show you. Well, you better. I mean, you're playing Notre Dame. And if you want respect, a good place to get it is at Notre Dame. Like, even when Notre Dame's bad, people like beating up on Notre Dame. People like mollywhopping Notre Dame. Like, I was in the press box covering the Notre Dame game in South Bend when OU got back at Notre Dame. It was a great scene. Check this out. There was a guy from Mexico City covering the Notre Dame OU game. And while that's cool on its face, my man had the longest question in press conference history. I mean, it was so long, it was like a Norm Macdonald joke. And then he looked at the bricks. And then a Russian fly came in the room. And then Mars had sex with Venus. And an ostrich was born. I mean, it was that kind of funky, long question. And Brian Kelly stunted on the dude with a, yeah. Like, Brian Kelly heard this man's like 15-minute question. And then came back with, yeah. Master trolling by Brian Kelly. So I don't have a problem with Notre Dame at number 3.
I got a problem with Clemson at number 4.
They lost to Syracuse. Syracuse is 2-3. 2-3. They don't even have a winning record. The Iowa State team that OU got beat by, that Iowa State team, has already beat the TCU team that we gotta beat to get the number 4 ranking. What is going on, committee? Look, I know the defense is trash. And yes, it speaks volumes that a historically awesome offense has come to the aid of a Mike Stoops defense because it's that trash. I get it. But now I just feel like y'all are trolling us with this Clemson ranking. Like, come on. And then you got us at number 5, which, fine. You know, we control our own destiny. If we win out, we're in. It's that simple. So I'm not, you know, fine. I can sit at 5. We'll come get Clemson later. You know what? Matter of fact, put Clemson in the college football playoff because
we owe y'all.
I'm talking about Tigers talking like they doing something. We gave you Venables. You should be thanking us. Your national championship should be our national championship. Brent Venables was our coordinator. Blah! Number 6, I said TCU. We got TCU. Fine, whatever. You know, I don't think the Horned Frogs is that good, but Gary Patterson's defense is always that good. So it's kind of like an OU deal, only their defense is holding them up and their offense can do enough to get by. Although, Miami at number 7 got a bone to pick with TCU. I mean, they're just better than TCU. So I would take issue with that. But again, Miami take care of business Saturday. you ain't gotta have that problem no more. At number 8, we got Wisconsin, which is like 7 spots too high because Wisconsin's trash. Like, I hear Wisconsin fans be like, we're undefeated. Nobody cares. You hadn't played nobody. It's like generic SEC fans said. There are only 2 rules. They ain't that good, and they ain't played nobody. In Wisconsin's case, that's absolutely true. They ain't that good, and they ain't played nobody. Well, it speaks volumes that Wisconsin is the Big Ten's last chance to get in the college football playoff, because Ohio State, trash. Penn State, trash. Michigan State, trash. Michigan, trash. Iowa's in the top 25 again, man. Oh, Big Ten, y'all let that happen. Why y'all letting Kirk Ferentz look like a genius all of a sudden? Get out of here with that noise. So we can talk about the college football playoff rankings some more, or we could not. Look, I'm an OU fan. I don't care about past 8 because in this time of year in November, it's only the first 8 spots that matter when you talk about the college football playoff. Anything else is just window dressing. I'm about trying to get into the Final 4 so I can go win a national title. So I'm not going to waste your time or mine talking about 9 through 25. Miss me with that BS. So now I get to tell you about how Nate Silver's 538 thinks 42% is a good thing. And 42% is what it thinks OU's chances are of making the college football playoff. And on its face, that sounds like a really terrible passer rating, or an even worse completion percentage. But in 538's case, that's a good thing because it means that OU has the 4th best chance to make it into the college football playoff, with Bama being at number 1 at 62%, and then Georgia and Clemson are tied at 57%. Whatever, man. I think it's because of the committee's rankings. I don't think Clemson's that good. I really don't. But one of the things that I thought was so entertaining about these projections of who could do what when is that a 3-loss Iowa State team has a better chance of getting in the national championship than a 2-loss Oklahoma State team. Y'all just stay catching them L's, Oklahoma State. I mean, yes, it's 6% versus 5%, but still, it speaks volumes that Iowa State has a better chance of winning a national championship in November than you do. Speaking of catching L's, if you haven't seen my video where I'm passing out these L's, you get an L, you get an L, you get an L, you get an L. I'm going to put a link to it up here, and I encourage you to find it on my channel. There's a lot of people that liked it on Facebook and on Twitter, and I appreciate that. I even got an article written about me in OU Diehards because of that video. Y'all liked it so much, so I really appreciate that. You know, like, I'm just out here having a good time, and I'm glad y'all are having a good time, and it was, you know, it was nice to get some recognition for that. Just like we need to give some recognition to the 2003 OU Sooners, who stopped the mud hole in Texas A&M and walked it dry. 77 to nada. Zip. Zilch. Zero. Goose eggs for the Aggies. Reggie McNeil's Aggies. Man, I pulled up the Gamer, and I had to read a quote by Bob talking about we're decent people. We weren't trying to run it up. That's not what we do. I mean, I get why he said it, but I like that they run it up. But the thing that I wanted to point out that I took from this is Mike Stoops coached that defense. Think about that for a moment. Mike Stoops coached a defense that laid a goose egg on A&M. Where's that defense? Yes, I know Dvorak was on that defense, but we got Dvorak's. You know? We got Devontae Lampkin. We got Obo Oronquo. What in the blue hell? Come on, man. Mike, you've done it before. 14 years ago. Today, you did it. Do it again. Do it Saturday. Shout out to Red Dirt Sports who found that note and posted it to Twitter. Follow Red Dirt Sport. Love that dude. He's awesome. Gives me a lot of retweets too, and he's helped me find a lot of y'all, and y'all find me, so that's awesome. So, one of the knocks on OU all the time is we play in the Big 12. We play in a conference where nobody can stop an offense, right? Where defenses are just trash. Well, Nikon, we'll just call him Small. He's a defensive back, plays TCU. He didn't think that was fair. And I'm willing to listen to a dude who plays on the best defense in the Big 12. Saying that Big 12 defenses aren't good because they play against Big 12 offenses is like saying you got beat by Mike Tyson in his prime, so you're not a good boxer. And I like that analogy. I like it because OU's offense is historically good. Oklahoma State is trash, but the offense is historically good. And Big 12 defenses have to face the same kind of offense every single weekend. Nobody else has to do that. The SEC doesn't have to do that. There's a reason why OU played Auburn and Alabama in the last 5 years and beat the bricks off of them. It's because our offenses can get after the defense. That's no excuse for Mike Stoops because Gary Patterson is out here holding teams down. Iowa State's out here holding teams down. And I like that a defensive player came to the defense of defenses in the Big 12. Piggybacking on that, earlier this week, Gary Patterson said, you know, because people were like, man, the defenses in the Big 12 are trash, talking about the Bedlam game where it's 62-52, a basketball score. And Gary Patterson was all like, look, everybody in the league should have to play both of those teams because then it'd be real to them. Then it wouldn't be, oh, that the defenses are trash. It'd be the offenses are that good. Gary Patterson's on to something. There's a reason why he went and got Sonny Cumbie and Doug Meacham to run his offense. He wanted one of those. But I think also Gary Patterson is a defensive coach. And because he's a defensive coach, he wanted to find a defense that would stop these air raid offenses. And I thought it was interesting that he found the answer at West Virginia with Tony Gibson and his 3-3-5. Now, Gary Patterson's on record as saying, I hate running three-man fronts. I hate running three-man fronts. I hate running three-man fronts. But he also wants to run what works. Now, that said, the three-man front that West Virginia rocks is not really a three-man front. It's more like a 4-2-5. It's a lot like Gary Patterson's 4-2-5. But the thing that Gary Patterson took away from it is how most defenses run this cloud system. But it's also a scheme that works. And West Virginia has used it to stop Tech multiple times. Gary Patterson's going to use what works. But Gary Patterson also is not going to let his quarterback not be a quarterback. One of my favorite anecdotes from a Bill Hastings article, which I'll link in the description below, was how Gary Patterson saw Kenny Hill mess up a zone read, and he shouts out, my mama can run a zone read, I promise you. How bad you got to be at running the zone read when your head coach invokes his mama? Dang, Kenny. So on defense for OU, we got some good news and some bad news. Good news is you get Neville Gallimore back, you know, and I've been aching to get a three technique like that back for weeks, you know, with no Romar either. The bad news is Will Johnson sitting out the first half because of a BS targeting call at the tail end of the Oklahoma State game. I kind of don't mind seeing Will Johnson sit down because it means that Robert Barnes probably going to play. And Robert Barnes is a hitter. Robert Barnes is an old school safety, and I want to see more old school safeties in this scheme. I want to see some hitters. I want to see some ball hawks. I want to see some dudes that are out there running around with bad intentions looking to waylay a man. Man, Robert Barnes get me hype. You know, let's get me hype. Seeing more Tre Norwood, seeing more Trey Brown. Now, we know that Jordan Thomas is questionable, right? So he could play, he could not play. We also know that Parnell Motley got flat out benched on Saturday. You know, because Kerry Cooks is starting to figure out, look, it's on you. I said it yesterday. I said it in my video yesterday. Kerry Cooks, earn your paycheck, dog. We need some more picks. Make it happen. So Tre Norwood, Trey Brown, saddle up. Let's go get some. Now, this leads me to my story about Pierre Jackson and his cameo as it relates to Hollywood Brown. Look, I love Hollywood Brown. How can you not like Hollywood Brown? D.D. Westbrook likes Hollywood Brown. The boy is fast, quick, like the Flash. Pew! Watch this. I'm finna go get a drink and I'll be right back. Man, I'm fast. Fast like Hollywood. But see, they list Hollywood at 5'11". And y'all know good and well that man ain't no 5'11". I say that because, check it out. When I was covering OU football and men's basketball, I used to look at, you know, the height and weight, you know, the statistics like everybody else does. And it used to always vex me that Pierre Jackson was listed at 5'10" in Baylor's program. Pierre Jackson ain't no 5'10". Pierre Jackson's 5'10". I'm 6'5". Like, don't inflate the man. Let him be who he is. So anyway, to prove my point, I got up out of my seat on press row and I went and stood next to Pierre Jackson and took a picture. Why am I standing head to head with this man? I'm 5'5". Just list the man in his height. Don't belittle it. You know? Only man I think OU ever did that with was Roy Finch. And that's because you just really couldn't hide it. You know? My man really was a mini fridge. And I do mean a mini fridge. I mean, my man was cock diesel. Just flexing on you like Goku. Nah, not like Goku. Like Jiren. Like Jiren. I want to see short but fast Hollywood doing his thing against TCU. I want to blow out. I want to win by 4 touchdowns. I want to leave no doubt. And we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see come Saturday. Which leads me to what Baker said on Monday, which is he's tired of hearing about 08 and Tech. And frankly, so am I. It's 10 years ago. Let it go. Do something big. Do something new. He wants fans to show up for OU TCU, the biggest game of the season. Lot riding on this game. College football playoff. We need everybody to come out. That's what he said. And Jim Ross basically retweeted the man and said, who's down? Now, Jim Ross said, if it's too loud, you're too old. And ain't nobody older than Jim Ross. So you better get to the game if you can get to the game. All right? If you're there, send me a tweet. Let me know in the comments below if you're going. Let me know what you think the fan turnout's going to be like. Let me know what kind of songs you would like to hear. Because I know from covering the games that, well, The playlist is trash at Owen Field. Like somebody granddaddy running the DJ booth up there. So get you, if we gotta sneak in there and we gotta get some Future, mask off. We gotta get some Eminem, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Or we gotta get some Drake back to back like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. Then that's what we need to do. Make it happen, OU. Go get this W. Alright, that's it for me. If you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. See y'all tomorrow. No more live stream fails. Deuces.